Alright, so let us look at using trig ratios to find the size of an unknown angle. Alright, with trigonometry you always start from the angle. And the reason you start from the angle is because opposite and adjacent depends on the angle. Help me please. I need everybody to look at me. What is this side to the angle? Help me? Remember, the side in front of the angle is always the side that is what? Opposite to the angle. So this is opposite. The side in front of the right angle is the what? No sir?
Hypotenuse.
Is the hypotenuse. The side in front of the right angle is the hypotenuse. Then you ask yourself, which ratio includes opposite and hypotenuse? Help me now? So I'm going to say sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Then I'm going to say the sine of theta. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, sine, cosine and tangent are functions of an angle. After you write sine, cosine or tangent, the next thing you must write is the angle. And in this instance, the angle is what you don't know. Help me. Is equal to the side opposite. Which side is opposite? 6.8 over the hypotenuse, which is what?
13.6.
13.6. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you know the sine of an angle, to find the angle, you must what? Use sine inverse. It means that theta, which is the angle, is equal to sine inverse 6.8 over 13.6. Theta is equal to? Now, there's no button, or well, if you notice the buttons in the calculator, many of the buttons, not all of them, have something written above it. The reason you have something written above it is because the button has more than one function. To access the second function, you're going to press a button called what? Shift. Or with some calculators, the older types, the button says second function, 2NBF. So you must press that in order to access what? Sine. So the first thing you press is shift, then sine, open bracket, 6.8, divide by 13.6, close bracket, and then you press equal. What did you get?
30.
Theta is equal to 30 degrees. Let's have a look at this one. Help me. What is this side to the angle? Help me please. The side in front of the right angle is the what? Hypotenuse. So this side must be the what? So the two sides I'm dealing with are what? Adjacent and the hypotenuse. Then I ask myself, which ratio includes adjacent and hypotenuse? Talk to me. So I'm going to say cos is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Then I'm going to say the cosine of what? The angle alpha is equal to adjacent. Which side is adjacent? 5.7 over the hypotenuse, which is what?
11.4.
11.4. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know the cosine of an angle, to find the angle, you must use cosine inverse. It means that alpha is equal to cosine inverse 5.7 over 11.4, which is how much degree?
60.
Alpha is 60 degrees. So remember, it is what? Shift, then cosine, open bracket, 5.7 divide by 11.4, close bracket, and then you press equal. Let's keep going. What is this side to the angle? Opposite. The side in front of the right angle would be the what?
Hypotenuse.
So this side must be the what?
Adjacent.
Then you ask yourself, which ratio includes opposite and adjacent?
Tangent.
So I'm going to say tan is equal to opposite over adjacent. The only reason I write that is the more I write it, is the more I'm likely to remember it. then the tangent of what? Beta is equal to what? Adjacent opposite, which is what? 3.9 over adjacent, which is 5.2. Beta is equal to tan inverse open bracket 3.9 divided by 5.2. Beta is therefore equal to what?
36.8.
26.8. We'll come up to the 8.
7 come out
So it's 36.9 degrees. Alright? Are you ready? Stay with me. Tell me, what is this side to the angle? Opposite. The side in front of the right angle is the what? Hypotenuse. Which ratio includes opposite and hypotenuse?
Sine.
I'm going to say sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So the sine of what? Theta is opposite 15 over hypotenuse 17. If I know the sine of an angle, to find the angle I must use what?
Inverse.
Sine inverse. Theta is sine inverse 15 over what? 17. Theta is equal to what?
61.9.
How much?
61.9.
61. What comes after the 9?
2 come after that.
So no, say 61.9. I said 61.9 degrees. Alright. Which brings us to these two questions. Alright, so these two require a little bit more thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you read maths. Math is like a puzzle. And it's something that you have to figure out. You understand? It requires what thinking. You like to do these brain puzzles. I mean, I like to do them. So like things like Sudoku, I like it. There's something called logic puzzle. I also like that. You understand? Mathematics is like a puzzle. Something that you have to what? Figure out. Let us see if we can use the knowledge that we have to figure this out. Tell me, we're asked to calculate the size of angle ABC. Let's identify that angle. It's angle ABC. They're asking us to find this entire angle. It is angle ADC. This is the opening between these two sides, don't it?
Yes.
AD and what? DC. The opening between them is what they want us to find. But the tools we have to work with are what? The trig ratio. And trig ratio is only work with what? A right angle triangle. So what we notice is that this divided line here so meets here so at what? Right angle. So if this is 90, what is this side over here? 90. So these are two. So that line divides the triangle into two what? Right angle triangle. Now I have a right angle triangle, I can use what? Trig ratio. Let's look. What is this side to this angle? Opposite. What is this side to the angle theta? Adjacent. Then I ask myself, which ratio includes opposite and adjacent?
Tan.
I'm going to say tan is equal to opposite over adjacent. Then I'm going to say the tangent of what? Theta is equal to opposite
5
over adjacent.
12.
If I know the tangent of an angle, to find the angle I must use what?
Tan inverse.
Theta is equal to tan inverse 5 over 12. Theta is equal to
26.6.
Say that again.
22.6.
This is 22.6 degrees. So this piece of the angle is what? 22.6. Remember I want the entire thing, don't it? But this piece is what?
22.6.
Let us see if we can find this piece. Over here is another right angle triangle, don't it?
Yes,
What is this side to beta? Let me know.
Opposite.
The side in front of the right angle is the what?
Hypotenuse.
So the 12 is again the what?
Adjacent.
Which ratio includes adjacent and hypotenuse?
Cos.
Cos is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Then the cosine of what? Beta is equal to adjacent, which is what? 12 over hypotenuse, which is what?
20.
If I know the cosine of an angle, to find the angle I must use what? Talk to me now.
Cosine inverse.
Beta is cosine inverse 12 over 20. Beta is equal to what?
53.1.
53. This is what? 53.1 degree. But the entire thing is what? This piece plus what? This piece, don't it?
Yes,
So
sir.
tell me if this statement is true. Angle ADC is equal to what? 22.6 plus 53.1. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
This is what?
75.7 degree.
Angle ABC is 75.7 degrees. That one is a little bit more, I wouldn't say complicated, but it is a little less obvious. I wouldn't say complicated, it is a little less obvious. Let's see if we can figure it out. Could have made it more difficult.
More than that?
Yeah, I could have made it a little bit more difficult than that. Boy! But you all are so cool. You all are such great students. You all don't see that they don't know numbers or anything?
That's why I don't do it, sir.
Yes, you should. No, what you should have is tell me from long time that they don't know numbers or anything.
Oh, if you want something wrong with that, I'm going to see another number. Here, you don't have to make up a measurement.
Alright. Let's focus. Alright. This is what, guys? Stay with me. This is 17 meters. From A to C is 17. This side over here is 10 meters. Alright, I think that's all I need. Alright. Now, so let's do this together. We're asked to calculate the size of angle BDC. Angle BDC. Angle BDC. That's over here, don't it?
Yes, sir.
Let's call it theta. Now, can you stop writing, please? Stop writing, please. Stop writing, please. That angle is what I want to find. It is angle BDC. That angle is what I want to find. Now, is this triangle a right angle triangle? The triangle over here, BDC. No. It means that trig ratios can't help you. At least not what? Directly. But trig ratios only work for what? Right angle triangle. It means I have got to do something else. But let me ask you this. Can you see two right angle triangles? Can you see two right angle triangles? Please look. A, D, B. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
That's right angle, don't it?
Yes, sir.
A, D, B. Tell me if you see this one now. A, D, C.
Yes, sir.
Can you see two right angle triangles now? Once I have right angle triangles, I can use what? Trig ratio. But before I go there, so here's what my brain tells me. If I can find this entire angle and find a piece here, if I take away what? This piece from the entire thing, I'll get this piece, don't it?
Yes.
Let me know?
Yes.
Let's find this entire angle. The entire angle I'm going to call what? Alpha. I'm going to call it alpha. This entire angle I'm going to call alpha. And this little piece here I'm going to call beta. Stay with me. Here's my reasoning. My reason said to me, if I know the entire piece, which I can find, Because this entire angle here is part of the larger what? Right angle triangle. And if it is right angle, I can find it using what? Trig ratio. So I can find this. I can find this big angle. I can also find this little piece because again it is part of a what? Triangle. Can find them, right? So if I can find the big one and a little piece here, these two pieces together add up to this, don't it?
Yeah.
So if I take away this piece can left, don't it?
Yes.
Alright, let's see what's going to happen. Tell me, what is this side to the angle alpha?
Opposite.
Help me now?
Opposite.
Opposite. What is this side to the angle alpha?
Adjacent.
Adjacent. Which ratio includes opposite and adjacent?
Tan.
I'm going to say tan is equal to opposite over adjacent. Then I'm going to say the tangent of alpha. Remember, this is entire thing is alpha. Is equal to opposite
17.
over adjacent.
10.
If I know the tangent of an angle, to find the angle I must use what?
Tan inverse.
Alpha
Alpha.
is equal to tan inverse 17 over 10. Alpha is equal to, you said me,
59.5.
how much?
59.5.
59.5 degrees. So the entire thing is what? 59.5 degrees. Stay with me. Are you ready? Let's find what? Theta. The angles in a triangle must add up to what?
180.
Do you see this little triangle here?
Yeah.
The angles in a triangle must add up to what?
180.
I want to find a piece here, beta. This is 50, this is 90, this must be how much?
40.
It's actually what? 40. But let us show you how we would get it. Beta would be equal to 180 minus 90 plus what? 50. The angles, the three angles in a triangle must add up to what?
180.
This one is what?
90.
This one is what?
50.
Understand? So, therefore, if I take, if I add this and take it away from 180, I'm supposed to get that, don't it? It's equal to what? 180 minus 140. This is what? 40 degrees. The piece here is what? 40 degrees. The entire thing is how much?
59.5.
The piece here is what?
40.
So the other piece is how much? Theta, which is angle what? BDC is equal to 59.5 minus what? 40. The answer is 90.5 degrees. Raise not for the swift, nor the battle for the strong, but those that can what? Endure to the end.
So actually you put the number of my stuff because I see that 40 degrees, you know. You cannot eat.